Thank you very much, Ms. Weil. Mr. Comer, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let's go back to 2015. The National Labor Relations Board, comprised entirely of President Obama's appointees, created a broad definition of joint employment that put the franchise model at risk and threatened to erode small business owners' control of their operations. This action cost franchise businesses $33.3 billion per year and prevented the creation of 376,000 jobs over the next 5 years. Then, during a time of soaring prices, we saw the Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division rescind the narrowly tailored joint employment rulemaking published under the Trump administration and released a proposed rulemaking reverting once again to the harmful Obama-era joint employer definition. Reversing the previous administration's actions has once again upended business owner stability and authority over settling the essential terms of employment for their employees. In my home state of Kentucky alone, any shift in the definition of joint employment affects 10,971 franchise locations, generating over $9.7 billion. Time and time again, those on the other side of the aisle have trampled on the rights of these small business owners and failed to provide clarity for their employees. That's why the Save Local Business Act is essential. Congress must codify a tailored, consistent joint employer standard to prevent infringement from government bureaucrats on our nation's entrepreneurs and job creators. To do this, I'm introducing the Save Local Business Act, which provides a stable definition of a joint employer as one which directly, actually, and immediately exercises significant control over the essential terms and conditions of employment. If this definition is not codified, franchisees across the country may be subject to further interference by future rulemakings, which could subject them to bargaining with unions for another employer's workers, making them targets of union dispute activities, or be held liable for another employer's unfair labor practices. Mr. Akers, can you explain how this legislation would help you grow your business?
Absolutely. We choose whether we are going to grow and add locations based on staffing. When you take that opportunity away from us, why would we continue to grow when somebody else is going to have oversight on those staff members? The only way we can do this, and frankly, why would somebody buy a new business, a new franchise, if they learn that they're not going to be able to make decisions about their employees? Saving local businesses, especially through the franchise model, it's critical to have that law put into place.
Mr. Spear, can you provide us some context about joint employer relationships within the trucking industry and how the Save Local Business Act would impact those wishing to franchise or enter into a joint employer relationship?
I think we need flexibility. I mean, we're trying to attract more talent into the industry. And let's be really honest why this is actually happening and why you have to introduce legislation like this. This is about increasing membership in unions. This is about generating more dues in unions. They've halved the amount of membership over the last 40 years. And this is a concerted effort to change the rules, change the laws, and channel more people into unions. And eliminating flexibility is about the worst thing that you can do right now in an economy that's trying to recover from COVID and trying to lead the world, candidly. Our industry is essential, and it proved that during COVID. And so any attempt to unravel our business models, eliminate our workforce by removing choice, we're going to oppose that rigorously. Mm-hmm. And just ask the employees. Just ask the independent contractors, why did they choose this path? You'll get the answer that you're looking for, and I think your legislation will be on track to preserving that.
Great. Well, Madam Chair, someone who's had ownership interest in a couple of different franchises, I can tell you, anyone who takes that significant risk of purchasing a franchise and understands the terms and conditions of that franchise agreement, then they're blindsided by federal bureaucrats on just out of the blue rulemaking that has a detrimental impact on their bottom line and on the significant risk and the work that they put into this. It's very unfortunate. It's a disincentive to attract investment to create new jobs to grow our economy. So look forward to working with you, Madam Chair, on this legislation. I want to thank the witnesses for being here, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Comer. It's great when we have members who have a wide ranging of experiences themselves and can speak to the issues.